This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Wednesday night, November the 9th. I almost said 19th, November the 9th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now so you are up to date with my daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. So, moderators, thank you in advance. Thank you for being here. We'll see how busy you are tonight. Members, thanks to all of you. I appreciate you. And everyone else watching, thank you for being here. I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, but the fact that you're here with me tonight at 11 o'clock Pacific, past 11 o'clock Pacific, because we just got off of Canucks After Dark. I appreciate you, and I certainly do not take you for granted. So as we get going, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. That way you can leave comments in the chat section for sure. Make sure you like this video. I know we're not happy that the Canucks lost 5-2 tonight, but give the video a like the fact that we're together, like the fact that I'm here, rain or shine, win or loss, and like the fact that we are building some great community here as well. Always appreciate donations. Always appreciate membership gifting, but most importantly, I appreciate you being here and get chatting in the comments in the chat section for sure. If you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. I appreciate that. And there's one other thing I was going to say. Oh yeah, if you're watching this right now, why don't you, let's see, I have a theory here because I tried it in Canucks After Dark and it helped increase viewership by about 10 or 12 people. If you're on social media right now, whether it's your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever, why don't you share the link? Go up, copy and paste the link from the URL and share it. And just say, even if you're simply tweeting something or retweeting my tweet where I said that I'm talking about the Canucks right now, just come on in and make sure that you share the show right now. I would love to see more people in here as we are talking about this team. So as always, I will go for the first 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will turn it over to you for the last 10 to 15 minutes, as I always do. But I'll go for the first half. You go for the second half. And I appreciate everyone that's in here, but I do want to highlight my Game Over Vancouver co-host, Kaya May, among the wonderful people that are in here. Kaya did a great job. As much as I wanted her to cover a win, Kaya did a great job holding down the fort on the Steve Dangle Podcast Network today. And she let out one of her trademark screams. It was a really good one, actually. She gives ample warning, and she just went for it, expressing what many Canucks fans are feeling right now. Some weird combination of frustration, sadness, empathy, apathy, sympathy, whatever it is. So glad you're here, Kaya, and glad that everyone else is here as well. This one was rough. Wednesday night, I'm at my church running our religious ed program for 115 students and managing almost 24 staff members. So that's my usual Wednesday night. But I had the game on my computer, and I was trying to follow as much as I can. You guys, this one was rough. It was rough because just like the Canucks gave up a goal 50 seconds in yesterday, today it was 55 seconds in. And this one was on a power play by Nick Suzuki because Tanner Pearson took one of his inexplicable offensive zone. I don't know if it was offensive zone. I think it was offensive zone penalties, a hooking penalty behind the Montreal net. So right away, the Canucks were down a man. Of course, as good as he has been playing, Horvat loses the face-off, and then the Canucks don't even touch the puck, and 15 seconds later, Demko is fishing it out from behind his net. Then this Jack Eye guy, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Actually, I learned how to say it from Kaya watching her stream. Jack Eye. I don't know how you get Jack Eye from Xhekaj. If I was to read it as it was spelled, I would call him Xhegaj. So Xhegaj then makes it a 2-0 game with a pretty weak shot from the point, getting through traffic. Then Kirby Doc says, "Thank you very much to JT Miller, clearing attempt," and it's 12 minutes in the game. And it was 3-0 already. Then in the second period, Canucks start to play a little better, but Jack Rathbone makes one of two very noticeable gaffes. Can't hold the puck in, and Mike Hoffman is off to the races, and he basically uses whoever his forward was as a decoy and beats Thatcher Demko on a 2-on-1 with a shot. And I'm not saying that Martin is better than Demko. You might be saying that. I'm not saying Martin is better than Demko, but Martin stopped all the 2-on-1s he faced yesterday, all the shots, and basically it was a shot that beat Demko clean. And now it's 4-0 Montreal. Canucks show a bit of life in the third period. Luke Shen scoring on a nice play by Besser. So Besser's 2 games back. He has 2 assists now. Besser pokes it back, wins a battle, pokes it back along the boards, and Luke Shen, kind of like it's Hegaj's goal from the point, getting through traffic. And then just 4 minutes later, Hoglander puts in a good gritty effort in front of the net, putting a Peterson rebound past the Montalban, and now it is a 2-goal game. Then the Canucks get a penalty, a power play. And then we're thinking, wow, this is a great chance to make this really, really close and really, really exciting. Miller hits the post really loudly. Quinn Hughes then hits the post, not so loudly, but it's still a post. And man, if one of those went in, now we're talking about a 4-3 game, and who knows what happens. The Canucks have 3 goals in 15 minutes, and they're ready to just kind of make a final push. But instead, those 2 shots do not go in. And then Jack Rathbone makes another bad play in his own end, fails on a clearing attempt. And then about 20 seconds later, him and Myers are on the same side of the ice, leaving Doc wide open. Kirby Doc had 2 really easy goals tonight. And then he takes a really nice pass from Suzuki. And that is game, set, and match. So 5-2 is the final, basically erasing any goodwill the Vancouver Canucks earned yesterday with that crazy 6-4 victory over Ottawa. Because if the Canucks had won tonight, they would have climbed to 5-6-3, 1 game under 500. They would be right at the wild card playoff bar, and we would be excited, so excited about this game against Toronto. But instead, they lose. Their record drops to 4-7-3. So instead of being 1 game under 500, they're now 3 games under 500. And in the wild card race, they drop 5 points behind Edmonton and then 2 points behind Minnesota. So technically, they're only 2 points out of a wild card spot, but there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams fighting for that second wild card spot. So it's one of those perspective things, glass half full, glass half empty, depending on what you want to see. The glass half full is after a horrible start. The Canucks were 4-1-1 in their last 6 heading into tonight's game. So now they're 4-2-1, which doesn't sound as good. But yeah, that's one way you can look at it. Whatever you want. And Kaya says there was too much. I think she meant to say too much hype. Probably there's a lot of type though, but there's too much hype about almost being in a playoff spot. I knew it would end badly. So I guess the lesson is we do not talk about playoffs just so early in the season. So a couple other things. Canucks power play failed them once again. They went 0 for 3 yesterday. They go 0 for 2 tonight. Their penalty kill, not great. They went 3 for 4 tonight. They went 3 for 5 yesterday. They were outshot badly in the first and second periods once again. Tanner Pearson only played 6 minutes because he got hurt after he still played only 6 minutes, but found a way to take 2 minor penalties in that not a great game. Kuzmenko only got 14 minutes of ice time, and it would have been a lot less if Pearson wasn't out of the game so early. Up front, Hoglander scores, which is nice. Got some fresh legs in there at the expense of Dakota Joshua. Besser gets the assist that I talked about, and Petey gets his assist. And on D, you had 2 defensemen getting points, Luke Shen and Quinn Hughes, who seems to just get 1 or 2 points a game, quietly amassing all of those assists. Want to talk about Demko, I want to talk about Rathbone, and then I will turn it over to you. Demko, this one is tough. And Parker and I spent a good 15 to 20 minutes talking about Demko on Canucks After Dark tonight. He is an elite goalie. He's not playing like one, but everyone around the league is surprised at how poorly he's playing because of how good they know Demko to be. Demko is not the only reason why the Canucks are losing, but he has not stolen a game for the Canucks. You could argue Spencer Martin stole last night, making 37 saves. You could argue Spencer Martin stole the win last night for the Canucks. Demko has not done so yet this season. Demko only has 1 win in 10 starts, you guys. 1 win in 10 starts, whereas Martin has won 3 out of his 4 games. And I tweeted this morning that you look at Martin's record this year, 3-0-1. You add it to his record of last year, 3-0-3. He has 6-0-4. He has not lost in regulation. 6-0-4 in his 10 games with the Canucks. That means he's gotten 16 out of a possible 20 points. 16 out of 20. That is 800 points percentage. That is amazing. So there's going to come a time where they're going to give him more than 1 out of every 3 or 4 games. And this is a perfect example that Parker and I were talking about just now, is with this first back-to-back, Ottawa, Montreal, Martin got 1, Demko got 1. But guess what? There's another back-to-back this weekend, a very tough back-to-back. This one is easy comparatively speaking. Toronto on Saturday, Boston on Sunday, with a little bit of travel in between. I fully expect Martin and Demko to get 1 game each. Not sure which one's going to be which, but I would continue to go with the rotation. The fact that you're going in a rotation and the fact that Martin's coming off a win and Demko isn't. I would start Martin against Toronto, and then I would start Demko on Sunday. And Justin says, tough to see Demko struggling. He hasn't looked solid even on routine saves. He's looking down to make sure he has it. It's a mental thing, or he's playing with some sort of nagging injury. And that is basically, that is, some are saying that maybe he had, we know he had a procedure done in the off season, and maybe he has not fully recovered from it. Japan 4, respectfully, I don't, you can, but I don't believe in superstition, in jinx, or anything like that. So to pin this loss on someone, even if you're having a bit of fun with it, I think that's probably not the most mature way to go with it, for sure. Let me talk about Jack Rathbone, and then I'll turn it over to you. You guys know how much I love Rathbone. You know how I've always called him the Quinn Hughes light, but Rathbone really struggled today. He was a -2. He gave away on the 4th goal. Oh, he got beat on the 4th goal. Then he gave it away on the 5th goal. 13 minutes of ice time once again, same as yesterday. Whereas the other 5 defenders get 19 and up. He gets only 13 because he doesn't really kill penalties. All that. And the bare bones combination of Ethan Bear and Jack Rathbone, total high risk, high reward. Total high risk, high reward. And I think that's really, really tough. It's a really tough place for a rookie to be in. And I've been clamoring for him to play ahead of Riley Stillman. We've got that the last 2 games, and Jack Rathbone has just been okay. I even tweeted out today, I said, as much as I want to see him succeed, he was directly responsible for his puck management is horrible, and he's responsible for the 4th and 5th goals. A lot of people agreed with me on Twitter saying, he struggled a little bit, and maybe we shouldn't have been clamoring for him so much. Others were saying, come on, Clay, the guy's a rookie. He's got to make mistakes, and we need to have to learn to live with those mistakes if we want to play him. So I have time for both of those arguments. I think going forward, what I see is a challenging predicament in that Travis Dermott's going to be back from injury probably in the next week or week and a half. So when he comes in, that pushes Rathbone even further down the depth chart. So technically, on the left side, you have Hughes, OEL, Dermott, and then some combination of Stillman and Rathbone. Then on the right, you have Shen, you have Myers, you have Bear, you have Burrows, and you have Pullman. Those are basically the 10 defensemen that you have. So a couple of those guys are going to have to go to Abbotsford to make room because you only have so many healthy scratches, so only 3. You can only have a 23-man roster. So with 10 defensemen, then something's got to give. So I don't know what's going to happen, but Jack Rathbone has been giving a pretty good opportunity here, but he hasn't really made the most of it. And Adam says, can somebody help me understand why the NHL rookie mistakes are such a big thing when these guys have been playing hockey their entire lives? Sure, the game's faster, but mistakes are mistakes. So Adam would be in the first group of saying, yeah, we don't make excuses for rookies because they've earned their way up to this point, and yeah, no one cares if you're a rookie or if you're a 15-year veteran. Here we go. I'm going to go to my mid-show sponsor read. So this is your time to start chatting. Put some more comments in the chat. And in essence, tell me how you're feeling about this team. Are you worried about Demko, Rathbone, Pearson, who I didn't even get to, but I don't have enough time? Let me know what you think, how you're feeling about things right now. I want to give a shout out to my lead sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link that you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen, performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay, and Coach Patrick will contact you. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the discount code CanuckClay at checkout and receive $15 off every pair of Vessi shoes that you buy at vessi.ca. As well, I remind you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. That way you can get chatting in the comment section. Also, you can like this video. There's 60 of you in here, which is awesome. Only 17 likes. Let's bump that up. It helps me a lot. And of course, you're always welcome to leave donations. You're always welcome to gift memberships. And most importantly, I want you chatting in the comments section. So let's get to some of your comments now. Peter Hughes, Dermott could also play on the right side. That's a good point. You keep Rathbone in it and you go Bear, Shen, Myers, or Dermott on the right. That's fair. Justin says, put Rathbone down in Abbey. Japan, when you play in a losing environment for 8 to 10 years, what do you think? You're asking Adam, but I presume you guys are talking about mentality. Jarhead, Oyel Myers make more than Makar and Taves. Oh my gosh. I almost threw up in my mouth there, Jarhead. Ricky, the Canucks have one regulation win in Montreal since 2007, a span of 16 games. I don't know what it's about playing that arena. Montreal is a lottery team, and the Canucks made them look elite. Yeah, I saw your tweet earlier, Ricky. That is disconcerting, to say the least. Andrew, if we could have found something on the power play at 4-2, would have been an interesting last 5. Just can't keep turning up for 23 minutes a game. We got away with it in Ottawa a bit back tonight. Yeah. And like I said, one of those posts goes in, the puck's 2 or 3 inches the other way, and maybe we're talking about a different result. Kaya May, thoughts on Montreal cheering Demko? I would do it too. You know, you hate to see it against your own goaltender, but I would give the Bronx cheer to an opposing goalie if I was at a game at Rogers Arena, so it didn't really bother me for sure. Double D, has there been a team in recent history who has played on overwhelming majority of their games either all at home or all on the road? And if so, how they do? Well, obviously it evens out by the end of the year, but I know what you're saying. Big stretches. There was a team last year. Was it the Islanders or somewhere where the team, they were getting renovations done and they went on some crazy 13 or 15 game road trip. Can someone remind me in the chat who that was? So it has happened before, for sure. Bruce, everyone has a bad game, so I wouldn't worry about Rathbone, Miller, and OEL has made more. Oh, so I wouldn't worry about Rathbone. Miller and Oriel has made more mistakes. That's fair. That's good perspective. Noah, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well as well. Fangirl, personally, I don't let these games affect me mentally, but it is alarming. Yeah, no, that's good. There's more to life than hockey for sure. Japan says Montreal plays hard and plays 60 minutes as opposed to us who play sometimes only show up for half of that. DJ Bick says gotta trade Bo when the stakes are high. Yeah, that's gonna be fascinating to watch the timing of that this season. Do I think Burrows should be slotted in again soon? Who do you put him in for though? Myers, or because he's a right shot guy, or do you put him in and try him and Bear together? Yeah, I think Kyle Burrows was good. I'd like to see what he can do again. And Adam was affirming what they were saying about Miller and OEL. That's my point. No excuses for anyone. Fundamentals of the game, mistakes, and some of the mistakes by rookies and vets were brutal. Hey, Carol, what would you do? Would you rather get rid of what defenseman would you replace with the injured defenseman come back, or who would you trade for? Yeah, it's tough to say, Carol, because I simply don't know who's out there. But I do think if you could shed somehow OEL or Myers and their contract and get a couple pieces back. I don't know if that's possible because you have to attach a sweetener, but it has to be a major move, something like that, like an OEL, a Myers, a Garland, or a Besser. Would I re-sign Bo or Kuzmenko? Bo, if I had to. Like, Kuzmenko's good, but I don't think he's going to reach the same. And Bo plays a center position as well. I think Kuzmenko is still learning the game here, but he has some nice moments, but he also has some lapses as well. Kaime said it was the Islanders last year. That makes a lot of sense, and Cole says that as well. Peter Hughes, it's a bad sign that Horvat, P.D. Miller, and Kuzmenko are on low cap hits this season, but the team is below in the standings. Once they're on a higher cap hit, then the team will probably get worse. That's right. Miller's kicks in next year. PD will get a new contract in 2 years. Horvat obviously still doesn't have a contract yet, and Kuzmenko is on a really playing for free right now, entry level. Adam doesn't like mistakes. These are becoming habits. Japan says that's what happens. Your locker room is dysfunctional. Don't know that to be true for sure. What lineup changes would you make for Saturday's game other than the goalie? Pearson is likely not going to play. So I think then Joshua comes back in. That's really all that you can do up front right now. And then on the blue line, I would try Burrows in for Rathbone as long as one of Burrows or Bear could play the left side. Well, that's crazy. Kaya is saying that the Islanders didn't play for a month and a half in their own arena. If by the 25 game mark we have a worse record than we did with Green and Benning, then what? Can't be thinking it's the coach. Yeah, I truly think they're going to let Boudreau coach this one out. Truly. I really do. Vax says, can't see the Canucks beating Toronto or Boston. I think they are going to beat Toronto, and I think they're going to lose to Boston. That's just my... I'll put this up here, but I don't say the word, as you guys know. Brown, I feel like if we don't beat Toronto, it might be Bruce. There he goes. Wow. So Brown is saying that there could be a coaching change. Yes, I am going to be at that game, Noah. I'll be at the game on the 18th for sure, and I'm looking forward to being there. Cole, do you think the parting of Bradshaw is the reason our defense is worse this year? I think that has a big part of it, for sure. For sure. Hey, Jay. Oh, the 2009-2010 season, the Canucks had a 14-game roadie, obviously because of the Winter Olympics playing at GM Place or Hockey Place at the time. Thanks for that, Jay. Great reminder. Carol, how close I am to 10K? I'm still a good 500 away. I'm at 9,500 right now. Actually, I'll look right now as we are talking. By the way, I'm getting some notifications, so thanks to everyone who shared the stream either on Facebook or on Twitter. Yeah, I'm at 9,514, so I haven't been moving too quickly since passing 9,500. So I think December 31st is going to be too ambitious, but it's probably closer to January or February, but I will get to the 10K eventually. Yeah, no, thanks, Carol. I probably won't do the 24-hour live stream because of things like Steve Dangle Game Over Vancouver and things like that. But always looking to try new things. I also was trying to pick out a date for my next meetup as well. Any word on Dermott? My guess is he'll probably play either at the very end of this road trip or they might save him for when the Canucks return home. I know Mikheyev PD Kuz has been steady last few games, but at this point, why not try the 649? I absolutely want to see Besser with PD for sure. I think Besser is at his best when he's with PD. So if you go lotto line, let's pretend Pearson's out. So you could go Horvat. Yeah, you could go Horvat, Mikheyev, Kuzmenko. Just simply put Horvat there instead of PD. And then your third line would be Garland, Podkolzin, and then you'd have to go Stadnika, I guess, which isn't the best. And then Amon Joshua and Hoglander's your fourth line. I'd have time for the lotto line, see it. Do I think Mike Yeo loses his job before potentially Boudreau could? No, I don't. I don't think so. Assistant coaches are hard to fire because ultimately it's the head coaches. You don't see assistant coaches get let go a lot, not before the head coach. Sky thinks there might be a Pearson trade, but he's got to get healthy first. If Brock was given credit for the goal yesterday, they would have won today. I'm not sure how you make that jump, but okay. Taylor Pearson is liability. He's not been good, that's for sure. Fillmore says Mike Yeo replacing Boudreau would be bad for business. Hey, Man Ray, nice to see you. Popping in to say hello. Nice to see you, and I'll likely see you at the office tomorrow. Thanks for popping in, brother. Kaya, the Canucks won once in like 13 years in Toronto last year with Demko net, but also I've never seen the Canucks lose in regulation. Yes, your record is like 4-0-1 or something, right? And you are going to the game on Saturday. So Kaya, much like I was living vicariously through Lucas today, I'll live vicariously through you on Saturday. Irwin says, put Demko in T-Dot. If he's in a slump, we need him to scrape out that rust ASAP. So Irwin, I presume you go Martin in Boston on Sunday. Nobody's taking Pearson without giving back a Gudbranson type player. Yikes. What year will the Canucks win the Stanley Cup? I say 2026. You know, that seems like a long time from now, but no, it's only 3 years from now. 3 or 4 years from now. So Japan is offering free betting advice. If you want to make money this weekend, probably Canucks losses, you probably make six or seven times your money. Japan, are you going to put your money where your mouth is? Are you going to do it and let us know? Because you could come in here and brag if it happens. Bruce, maybe JR has to hire a few more assistant managers to finally make a move. How many do you need? Adam says, I thought Rutherford traded Pearson mid-game, and that's how he was off the bench. Yeah, that would be crazy to actually pull a guy off during an actual game. Shannon, usually when a team fires a head coach, it's because the GM and or the president say so, because they are the boss of the head coach. And when it comes to timing, sometimes you do it because you don't want to fall too far out of the playoff picture. Other times you want to scoop up a coach that's unemployed before anyone else does. So there's no set formula, there's no set time frame, but it's simply striking when you can. Podsbo Garland. Yeah, and then you got Kuzmenko Mikheyev on your third line, I guess, but you need a guy who can get them the puck. Yeah, I don't know. Would you say that Boston's a scheduled loss because they are the second best team in the league right now and it's the second half of the back-to-back? Yeah, that's a tough one. Because I would argue that Martin is the better goalie right now, so you want to at least guarantee one of the two wins. I guess that's what you're saying. A scheduled loss would be Sunday, so you want to win on Saturday. Wouldn't you put the guy who's playing better right now? I don't know. That's a really, really good question. Should the Canucks rebuild? Yes. What would you do if you were Rutherford? I would blow it up. I really would. I wouldn't touch Demko, Pettersson, or Hughes. I think really long and hard what you want to do with Horvat and Miller, and then go from there. Will Pearson go LTIR? It depends. And not if he's going to be out, if they don't think he would be out for more than 3 weeks. Yeah, great point by Man Ray. It's like the shareholders requiring a CEO to step down. It's basically everyone else with a vested interest, even a bigger interest than the head coach. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Oh, McAvoy might return. That's good to know, Justin, because he's on my fantasy team, and I've just parked him on my LTIR this whole time. Kaya says, put Martin in Boston because he's playing better, so they have a better chance, not doing terrible. Okay. I see what you're saying. If we rebuild and it doesn't work, what happens? Rebuild the rebuild? Yeah, I don't know what rebuild squared is. It's like when you're rebuilding, but then you have to start the rebuild. Who knows what it's called, but that's not good if we're already talking about that kind of things. How bad do you think the Canucks lose to Boston? I think they lose by 3, but I do think they beat Toronto by 1. I just have a gut feeling. Wish we had a winning culture like the Bruins. Missing Marchand, McAvoy, and look at their start. Exactly. Krejci also got hurt. But it's fascinating. If you look at the stats, look at the standings, look at how each team has trended since the 2011 final, it's pretty sad to see how well Boston has done and how poorly that we have done. Stanika between the two Russians, perhaps. A rebuild of the rebuild is a rebuild. Yeah, that Hawks, Joshua, and a man would be your fourth line then, for sure. Management doubled down on last year's team, including signing Miller, who's been absolutely atrocious. Rutherford should really stop talking to. He's undermining his own management team. Yeah, I spoke about that a lot in yesterday's stream. Swayman is also out. Oh, great. You're making this even worse for us. New coach short of the penalty kill. Yeah, it has not been great. Usually, whoever runs the defense runs the penalty kill. Whoever coaches the offense runs the power play. Japan thinks the only way we get a rebuild is to equity and lose this team because they ain't doing any rebuild. I think that's a really good point. Yes, they need. Do they need McAvoy? No, but you're obviously going to take him back for sure. JT's been an absolute momentum killer. He's only going to be placed like a bull in a china shop. Instead, he's playing like he thinks he's a superstar with a license to make risky plays. Yeah, that third goal was ridiculous tonight. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Nux fan says, put Sheldon Dries in the middle of the two Russians. Okay. Would keeping Chason have helped? I don't think so. I don't think, because Chason, I can't remember. Did he kill penalties? I knew he was good in front of the net on the power play, but I can't remember if he killed penalties. So if he was a penalty killer, sure. But otherwise, no. Man Ray, that's why we get along so well. My least favorite team is also the Flames. It goes back to playoff battles. It goes back to that brawl from about 6 or 7 years ago when Torts, in 2014, when Torts tried to storm their dressing room. I just do not like the Calgary Flames. I like them a little bit better when Mark Shimantana went over there, but still, I still want to see them fail miserably. We have never done a full rebuild since 2011, just being a mediocre team. I thought they had a chance to do it after they fired Vigneault in the 2013 season, for sure. And yes, Dries is in Abbotsford right now. Do you think the Kraken are for real, or will we overtake them? I think that they aren't for real, even if we don't overtake them. It doesn't have to be both. But no, I think they've been fortunate that the rest of our division hasn't been that strong. I think they come back to earth. Bull in a China shop. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be offended at that because I'm half Chinese. But I don't think it's a racist term, is it? Our defense is undisciplined. How many times both D in the same corner? Yes, absolutely. Either chasing guys behind the net, leaving their side exposed, or going to the same corner. Miller needs to stop trying to thread the needle. Yes, just put it off the boards. Kane out 3 to 4 months for Oilers and Huberdeau injured for the Flames. Yeah, the other teams are losing key players for sure. Linus Ullmark is 9-1. Thanks for the heads up. The West is very average indeed. Bruce, Garland, Bo, Miller. Okay, there's no lines here. You're just listening, guys. Garland, Bo, Pillar, Sorry. Garland, Bow, Miller, Petey, Kuz, Mick, Stednica, Besser, Pods, Aman, Hogs, Joshua. Yeah, so that's exactly who they're going to go with because there's no Pearson. And if Sheldon Dry stays in Abbotsford. Yeah, no, I was joking about the racist. Thank you. Yes, I know it's breaking China plates. Define China, not like running through the country. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you. Kyle Myers left his side, even though Rathbone was already there. Yeah. Myers is supposed to be the right shot guy, the right side. Miller's arrogant, tries to make the difficult play, just prove he can. Yeah, he's got to simplify things. Yeah, Kane is out, Carol, because he got his wrist skated over by Patrick Maroon. Started bleeding on the ice. It was very, very scary, for sure. Our division is bad. Oh, Bruce, those were lines. Okay, sorry. Let me read it one more time. My bad. Where were Bruce's lines? I'll read it one more time because that did not do that justice. Garland, Bow, Miller, Petey, Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, Stednica with Besser and Pods, and Aman, Hogs, and Joshua. Yeah, I just don't like your third line because I think Besser needs a better playmaker than Jack Stednica to be effective. But not bad. Mark says Miller has to go. Is no trade kicks in at the end of the season. Could Rutherford also be the head coach and get the Canucks to play with the structure he wants? I doubt it, Peter Hughes. I think he's too old. I don't think he has any desire to go behind the bench. Japan says we're not going to overtake Seattle. Miller is like a worse Kessler, overconfident American. I think it would be in our best interest to trade Miller and Bow. Well, I think you got to keep one of them. Otherwise, PD's your only bona fide center. I think Podkolzin has got good offensive flair and is good at winning puck battles. I want to see him make quicker decisions. And to me, that's the biggest thing with Podkolzin. Even just play with more assertiveness, actually. The thing I like about Bruce is he sees the game the same way us fans see it. That hasn't always been the case. That's fair. It makes for exciting hockey, for sure. Yes, we do wish Evander Kane well. Even if we don't like him as a person, you never want to see that happen to a player. Miller is like Kessler minus the sense of humor. That's fair. That's fair. That American arrogance or American scowl, I should say. Missing Lazar hurts. Feels like he's just coming to his own. Yeah, he had some really good games, Justin. Should have traded Miller when he had the chance. Been saying this summer. Yeah, that's why everyone was shocked when we signed him to a new 7-year contract. If Cranky Rutherford makes a trade next week, who do you think it'll be? I think it'll be Garland, Besser. Yeah, Garland or Besser if we're talking about a major trade. I think OEL Myers is going to be hard to move. Miller's no Kessler, lacks the compete level to be a 200-foot player. Yeah, that's fair. Can someone be like Pat Quinn and coach GM? Yeah, it's a lot, though. You don't see that a lot now. Man Ray, I was so excited when Seattle got a team, especially when I heard they called the Kraken, such a cool team name, but such a lame logo. So much potential, we'll never get over it. Yeah, we'll talk about that more at work tomorrow. That's funny. And Kaya, are you saying trading Garland is an LOL, or you're saying trade Garland, LOL? Let me know once you clarify that in the chat as I wrap up here. And any update on Arshdeep Bains? I think he's like many of those guys that are in Abbotsford, where you simply don't know how well they are going to do. They're like going to be guys that who are like 13 or 14 forwards, where you'll call up like a Sheldon Dries, where you'll call up and hope they do well, but you're not sure if they're going to stick. Yeah, Linus Karlsson has 10 points in 8 games. Lockwood has 6 and 8. Dowling has 6 and 5. Baines has 5 and 7. So it's not like he's setting the world on fire. Kessler has a Selke, while Miller thinks slashing is defense. Who runs our PK? That's likely Trent Cull. I think Trent Cull is defense and Mike Yeo is offense. I think. Alvina's head coach. I don't know if he does a lot of head coaching. Miller constantly turning over pucks and being atrocious. Would love to see him go. Hello, Birdie. Nice to see you. Yes, Trey Garland is going to float in our middle six and should go to a fast team like New Jersey. Deltman says, rebuild. Tired of this mediocrity. Half of this roster needs to go. Wow, you guys are spitting fire tonight. You know what's worse than losing? Canucks prospects not available until a few more years. That's true. Like LeCare, Mackey, and Pedersen are probably a couple years away at least. Hello, Rosario. Archdeep Baines, Pride of Surrey, indeed. Frankie out, Deadpool in. Seth Rogen, Buble, Steve Nash. Well, that's quite a consortium for sure. Trent Call runs our PK. That makes sense that we're not doing great. Perfect. There's a good place to end. We went for a good 40 minutes tonight. Thank you. I will be back tomorrow night. And then Thursday is my last show of the week. And then I'll take a break for Friday, Saturday. But Hall of Fame and Legend members, Legend and Hall of Fame members, I'll be contacting you over the next couple of days about setting up our next round of one-on-one chats for the next week or so. So thanks to everyone for being here. Moderators, it didn't sound like you have to do too much tonight, which is great. But I still appreciate you nonetheless. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Just Incredible, legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support as always. And Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Didn't get any donations today, which is fine. I'm always blessed with donations, and that's not a hint to start donating unless you really want to. No donations tonight, and no membership gifting, but no new members, but we had a few new subscribers and a lot of great content in the chat. So thank you as well. Thanks to everyone listening on the podcast platform. Make sure you rate and review as always. And thank you once again to my sponsors, my primary sponsor, Advanced City Experts, and my secondary sponsor of Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. So once again, Canucks lose 5-2 to Montreal. They're 4-7-3 now. Had a chance to get basically into wildcard position, but instead they're battling 6 or 7 other teams and having played the most games out of all those teams. It's not super early in the season. It's still salvageable, but they got to get going. They got to string more than 1 or 2 wins together at a time. I'll be back tomorrow night at 11 p.m. right here, and we'll see what happens tomorrow in the Canucks news, in the Canucks landscape, to see if there's something new we can talk about, or we can just keep talking about what we always talk about and go from there. So once again, thanks for watching tonight. On your way out, subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you like to, and continue to leave comments in the chat. I appreciate you. Kaya, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trip. A very safe and blessed trip. And yes, I look forward to talking to my new good friend, you. And hopefully you indeed see a win on Saturday as we all live vicariously through you, and you take the vibe of the GLCPC all the way to Toronto. So as always, friends, thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And I must say, I was trying to figure out why the ball, it kept getting bigger and bigger. And then it hit me. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.